Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Lesson 95 in A Course in Miracles. I am one self united with my Creator. Today's idea accurately describes you as God created you. You are one with yourself and one with Him. Yours is the unity of all creation. Your perfect unity makes change in you impossible. You do not accept this, and you fail to recognize it must be so, only because you believe that you have changed yourself already. You see yourself as a ridiculous parody on God's creation, weak, vicious, ugly, and sinful, miserable, and beset with pain. Such is your version of yourself, a self divided into many warring parts, separate from God and tenuously held together by its erratic and capricious maker to which you pray. It does not hear your prayers, for it is deaf. It does not see the oneness in you, for it is blind. It does not understand you are the Son of God, for it is senseless and understands nothing. We will attempt today to be aware only of what we can hear and see and what makes perfect sense. We will again direct our exercises towards reaching your one self, which is united with its Creator. In patience and in hope, we try again today. The use of the first 5 minutes of every waking hour for practicing the idea for the day has special advantages at the stage of learning in which you are present. It is difficult at this point not to allow your mind to wander if it undertakes extended practice periods. You have surely realized this by now. You have seen the extent of your lack of mental discipline and for your need for mind training. It is necessary that you be aware of this, for it is indeed a hindrance to your advance. Frequent but shorter practice periods have other advantages for you at this time. In addition to recognizing your difficulties with sustained attention, you must also have noticed that unless you are reminded of your purpose frequently, you tend to forget about it for long periods of time. You often fail to remember the short applications of the idea for the day, and you have not yet formed the habit of using the idea as an automatic response to temptation. Structure, then, is necessary for you at this time. Plan to include frequent reminders of your goal and regular attempts to reach it. Regularity in terms of time is not the ideal requirement for the most beneficial form of practice in salvation. It is advantageous, however, for those whose motivation is inconsistent and who remain heavily defended against learning. We will, therefore, keep to the 5 minutes an hour practice periods for a while and urge you to omit as few as possible. Using the first 5 minutes of the hour will be particularly helpful since it imposes firmer structure. Do not, however, use your lapses from this schedule as an excuse not to return to it again as soon as you can. There may well be a temptation to regard the day as lost because you've already failed to do what is required. This, however, should merely be recognized as what it is, a refusal to let your mistake be corrected and an unwillingness to try again. The Holy Spirit is not delayed in his teaching by your mistakes. He can be held back only by your unwillingness to let them go. Let us therefore be determined, particularly for the next week or so, to be willing to forgive ourselves for our lapses in diligence and our failures to follow the instructions for practicing the day's idea. This tolerance for weakness will enable us to overlook it rather than give it power to delay our learning. If we give it power to do this, we are regarding it as strength and are confusing strength with weakness. When you fail to comply with the requirements of this course, you have merely made a mistake. This calls for correction and for nothing else. To allow a mistake to continue is to make additional mistakes based on the first and reinforcing it. It is this process that must be laid aside, for it is but another way in which you would defend illusions against the truth. Let all these errors go by recognizing them for what they are. They are attempts to keep you unaware you are one self, united with your Creator, at one with every aspect of creation, and limitless in power and in peace. This is the truth, and nothing else is true. Today we will affirm this truth again and try to reach the place in which there is no doubt that only this is true. Begin the practice periods today with this assurance, offered to your mind with all the certainty that you can give. I am one self, united with my Creator, at one with every aspect of creation, and limitless in power and peace. Then close your eyes and tell yourself again, slowly and thoughtfully, attempting to allow the meaning of the words to sink into your mind, replacing false ideas. I am one self. Repeat this several times and then attempt to feel the meaning that the words convey. You are one self, united and secure in light and peace and joy. You are God's Son, one self with one Creator and one goal, to bring awareness of this oneness to all minds, that true creation may extend the allness and the unity of God. You are one self, complete and healed and whole, with power to lift the veil of the darkness from the world and let the light in you come through to teach the world the truth about yourself. You are one self in perfect harmony with all there is and all that there will be. You are one self, the Holy Son of God, united with your brothers in that self, united with your Father in His will. Feel this one self in you and let it shine away all your illusions and your doubts. This is your self, the Son of God Himself, sinless as its Creator, with His strength within you and His love forever yours. You are one self, and it is given you to feel this self within you, and to cast all your illusions out of the one mind that is the self, the holy truth in you. Do not forget today. We need your help, your little part in bringing happiness to the world. And heaven looks to you in confidence that you will try today. Share then its surety, for it is yours. Be vigilant. Do not forget today. Throughout the day, do not forget your goal. Repeat today's idea as frequently as possible, and understand each time you do so, someone hears the voice of hope, the stirring of the truth within his mind, the gentle rustling of the wings of peace. Your acknowledgement, you are one self, united with your Father, is to call to all the world to be one with you. To everyone you meet today, then, be sure to give the promise of today's idea and tell him this. You are one self with me, united with our Creator in this self. I honor you because of what I am and what He is, who loves us both as one. And that is the lesson for today. I am one self, united with my Creator. It's important just to notice very quickly that, especially at the end, it is imperative that we begin to understand that we are one self and we are not separated individuals. We are not alone in this world. We simply need to join our minds with one another in love and in light. And that is peace and joy. And every time we heal ourselves, every time we make that connection, someone who is suffering in the world feels that connection and feels the hope that the despair that they are feeling is not for nothing. There is hope. And that is the power of the connectivity. That is why we know when the phone rings who it is before we answer the call without caller ID. That is why we think of someone and they call. That is why we can feel someone else's pain, because we are all connected. We are all part of one thing. And so if you cannot do this for yourself in the moment. Do this for the oneness of the world. If you are someone who would rather help others, then the best way to help others is to understanding that you are one with your creator. And all of those beings that we have lost in one form or another, whether we've moved away, whether they have crossed over, whether we have separated our relationships, whether they have grown or we have grown apart, we are still all connected. We are simply learning lessons here. And they are not part of these lessons for us. And so I encourage you again to realize that as you understand that you are part of the one self and the creator, you are helping to heal the world. Now let's see what Tina Spalding has to say, her channel. You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one that you know as Jesus. You can feel the truth in these words. You can feel the love in these words. You can feel separation is not what you want. Love is what you want. Communion is what you want. Connection to the divine is what you want. You do not want these idols you've been chasing that you find so meaningless and hollow when you catch them. You catch an idol and then you drop it saying, that is not what I wanted. I thought it was what I wanted, but it is not what I wanted. Then the ego mind says, but look over there. Look at that one. That is so shiny and so many people are chasing it. You should chase that one too. 3 or 4 years later, you catch that idol. A nice car, a new body to play with, an advancement at work, a marriage, children, or a bigger house. What do you look for? You look for peace. You look for joy. Those things are not found outside of you. You think they are. You've been taught to buy things, upgrade your possessions, get married, or slim down to be happy. Truly, have these things made you happy? Do they make others happy? You don't know. You see the smiles pasted on their social faces, but are they truly happy? You hear stories of the unhappiness of the wealthy and the famous, their difficulties. We do not want you to relish those difficulties. We want you to go to your experience and ask, have all these things that I have chased made me happy? Have they brought me peace in the darkest hours of the night? Have they brought me comfort and joy and love? No, most of them have not. Perhaps for a few weeks, a few months, or even a little while if you are lucky. Then they turn into something else. Then they turn into what they are, temporary band-aids for deeper pain. We go into the mind and change the way you look at reality. We change the value system of your consciousness from has been marketed to you by religions, families, cultures, televisions, advertisement, and movies. What has been marketed to you from commercialism, materialism, fear, and death. We change this into love. You come from love. You are made from love. And you are destined to love. That is the truth. I am that one that you know as Jesus. We will see you again tomorrow. It just goes on to emphasize how we look to others and to stuff to make us happy. And we forever look outside of ourselves. And when we are alone, when we are not with someone, when we are not filled with something, we feel like we are not adequate. When you understand that you are absolutely everything that you need, what begins to happen is you attract to you the vibration of that enoughness, of love, of comfort, of the joy that you are seeking. But it does not come from the stuff, and it does not come from a relationship with someone else unless you are connecting with them from a level of the connectedness of yourself. It is critical to love yourself first. It is critical to understand that you are a part of all that is. Practice today Set alarms today. Let us begin together to know that we are all one self, united with our Creator, and that we are simply a part of a larger mind, a larger existence, and a larger source. May the love in me find the love in you to reflect it to me. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.